Hello, hello. My name is Jennifer Waters. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? It's a great Wednesday to be here, be alive, be happy, be together. My name is Jennifer. I am an acupuncturist and certified light therapist in Central New York with CNY Fertility. I've been part of the team there for a really long time. It's an honor to work with you all and to work with Dr. Kiltz and the team there. It's a very special team. And today I want to talk about my opinion, of course. Everybody is saying POV, point of view, but it's also BOE, based on experience, right? We all have our experiences, and that is ultimately how we find out the best truth, the real truth, or the truth for us, because what's true for you and me might not be true for everybody else. So we've got to investigate what resonates with you, what makes sense for you, what works with you. I like tangible, sometimes immediate results. That's what I like. Theory is fun. I love to hear about different points of view, and I love to hear what people have studied and learned about, obviously. But what it comes down to is our experiences, right? Somebody can tell you, oh, you need to take this supplement or you need to do this to help yourself. But if you don't feel the benefits from what you're doing pretty early on, then it might not be exactly what you need. So a lot of the ways that we cultivate our health is trial and error. It's things you do every day that matter the most. People ask me all of the time, how much acupuncture should I do? Or should I go to my massage therapist? Should I do this? Should I do that? You can do whatever you want. And maybe you really don't do anything except change your point of view. So it is limitless what you can do to help yourself. There is no direct, here are the 5 steps to perfect health. Those are things that people made up, which can be very beneficial or not, right? So today I want to talk a little bit about inflammation, which is part of the, I just created a little ebook that I was hoping would be done in about a month. And it actually has taken about 6 months because that's how it goes. And it's about this, what I call the 7 fertile secrets, although there's probably a lot more. Years ago, Dr. Kiltz wrote a book, co-authored a book called The Fertile Secret, which some of you probably read. It was really quite a big undertaking, a big job, and it was all about the natural adjunctive therapies that we do: massage, acupuncture, nutrition, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. And so now, fast forward almost 20 years later, I was working on an ebook of just based on my basically 30 years experience here of working in the field of what I call common sense healthcare. Things that just really, once you understand them, they make sense, right? That's how I know that something is true. It's like when you get to that understanding in your mind, it's like, oh, of course that's what it is. Of course that's what we need to do, because it completely resonates in your whole being. So I put together the 7 fertile secrets, which I'll share with you what they are. And it's, like I said, it's based on my many decades of experience in really trying to understand, weed out all the stuff that we don't need, the stuff that's not about selling something. We all are the same ultimately, right? We all want the same things. We all need money to pay our bills. We all want to be connected to each other. We want to have a pain-free body and an unburdened heart and all of that. So basically, the 7 fertile secrets have to do with synthetic vitamins are killing you. That can definitely be one of the causes of inflammation. Okay, so I feel very strongly inflammation is not the cause of anything. It's not. Prednisone was created, and then suddenly everything was about inflammation, right? So unfortunately, that's how it goes in the world of pharmaceuticals. Is drugs are often created And then suddenly the cause, that's the cure. So the cause is put together with that. So I'm not saying prednisone is bad. I certainly have taken it myself for, I'm highly allergic to poison ivy. And I thank God for prednisone. It saved me more than once. So I'm not saying that, but we need to understand that inflammation is secondary. It is the result. And sometimes it's there to protect us, right? You sprain your ankle, inflammation runs to the rescue, and it's protecting your ankle. The inflammatory response is protecting your ankle. It doesn't cause the sprain, right? So in your body, if you have systemic inflammation, it is not causing infertility. It's not causing PCOS. It's not causing endometriosis. It's not causing any of that. It's a result of PCOS and endometriosis. But what is causing that? That's what we really need to get into. Now, I'm not saying that synthetic vitamins are causing endometriosis or unexplained infertility or anything like that, but it can be contributing to an imbalance in your body. So if you are taking something like, for example, ascorbic acid, and you are thinking that that is the highest, the most natural form of vitamin C, which is a very important part of your tissue layer called connective tissue and ligaments. So it's really important for your uterus and your ovaries, because, you know, those of you that have listened to me before, I'm also an Arvigo therapist. So we look at location of the uterus. The uterus is a suspensory organ, right? She's designed to stay in place. How? By the ligaments, right? And holding her there. And so she moves about. When those ligaments are overstretched or become weak, we want to get that tissue type stronger to hold her in place. If your uterus is out of alignment, then your ovaries, which are connected to the uterus, right, through the ovarian ligament, is one of the ligaments, are also out of alignment, right? So it's not separate. So you want to get your ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, all of that stronger so that you can be flexible. So your uterus can stretch out to the size of a watermelon and then come back down to the size of a pear easily, no problem. All right, so vitamin C is the most important nutrient of that tissue type, and it is not ascorbic acid. Okay, so you need to find a whole food vitamin C complex, and there's lots out there. I can share with you what I like. You can find it on your own, but it should not say ascorbic acid, okay? So that's one of the things. That's the first of the fertile secrets, which I'm going to be telling you all about. It's not a big secret anymore. I also talk about in the ebook that I created, that's going to be on my website soon, about the benefits of combining natural remedies, like for your ovaries when you're doing IVF and you're ultimately going to go on progesterone, pharmaceutical, or any kind of progesterone. Why don't we also combine some direct ovarian support for you, so that the ovaries are more able to produce their own progesterone for that second half of your cycle, that luteal phase of your cycle? It's been my experience, it's my fear for you, that when you go off the shots, progesterone and oil, or however you're taking the progesterone, that there can be a little bit of a rubber band effect in the body. Your ovaries are kind of, they go from being on vacation, right? Like, oh, wow, we don't really have to do anything here because this progesterone and oil shots have come in, they're doing it's doing my job, so I don't have to do anything. Then you stop, and what happens? The ovaries are like, whoa, 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 you didn't really even tell us that we were going to have to go back to work tomorrow, right? All of us that are on vacation and go back to work, we psych ourselves up the day before, the couple days before. So you've got to psych the body back up by giving it the nutrients and the support that it needs. In particular, the ovaries, I don't know entirely why, they're very sensitive. The tissue type of the ovaries is extremely sensitive, like the way the thyroid is. So if your ovaries are off, underproducing progesterone, then your thyroid is off. I don't care what your blood tests say. We don't need lab work to show us the obvious, what I call common sense, because the endocrine system, none of the glands function alone. They all function together. So if your ovaries are off, your thyroid is off. And it's fairly easy to deliver the nutrients of the thyroid. The nutrient of the thyroid is iodine, right? I mean, how easy is that? You can go out online or wherever, if you have a health food store or Whole Foods or whatever, get liquid iodine. Edgar Casey is the brand that I've used. 1 drop of iodine in your water every day, your thyroid is so much happier. It wants to do its job. The word hormone, you might know this, means to make happen, right? So I like that because our glands want a job. They want to make things happen in the body. And if they're not going to be well nourished, they're simply not going to. So my feeling is that once your glands get the nutrients that they need, they start doing their job, and everything, you start humming better. You start feeling better. Everything's working better. So the other of the fertile secrets that I like to talk about, which I will do at one point a whole talk on this alone, is about the autoimmune aspect. Now, we have been told that the body attacks itself and that you have to punish the immune system as a result, and then it goes awry from different things, And I don't believe that that's the case. Based on my experience and my education and talking to people much smarter than myself, most of my friends are a lot smarter than me, have explained to me that, first of all, your body, your precious, beautiful body, is not going to attack you. Why would it do that? You are the host of you. It's not going to attack itself. That is absolutely ridiculous to feel that way. And if you do feel that way, if you're walking around thinking, oh, my body's attacking myself, that is the ultimate betrayal, okay? So we have to deal with the emotions of infertility and loss and betrayal. And so that is adding on another layer of emotional burdening that you do not need to feel that way, on top of everything else you're going through, all of the uncertainty, all of the loss, all of the ups and downs, all of the hormonal fluctuations, the frustrations, the financial investment, all of that, you already know. So adding in that layer of, well, now my body's attacking myself, and what am I going to do about that? Take more drugs to punish it? No, that's not it at all. So I'm working this theory out a little bit more as we go along, but one of the causes of autoimmune, the way I understand it, is that there can be an injury to the tissue. It can be physical. Let's say you're in a car accident, you've got your seatbelt on, bam, what's the organ that gets injured from those kinds of accidents? The spleen. Now, the spleen has been damaged, right, from this impact. So it will ultimately go into an autoimmune phase. Autoimmune is not a standalone disease. It is an end result of a disease process. And this degenerative process can be from an injury, physical injury. It can be from emotional injury. It can be from a lack of specific nutrients of that gland or organ or tissue type. It's not getting what it needs. It can also go into a degenerative state from heavy metal toxicity that is in our air, water, food, and pharmaceutical drugs, from viral and bacterial impositions to the cells. It causes them to dysregulate. It's like, most of you have heard about leaky gut, right? Leaky gut syndrome. When the permeability of the gut, it loses some of its integrity. So the theory is that the nutrients, which should be contained inside the gut, leak out into the bloodstream. Exactly. So we can call that IBS, could be considered leaky gut of the large intestine. Crohn's disease, leaky gut, autoimmune of the small intestine. How does that all start? Well, there can be a genetic predisposition. We know that. And then it's all of these other things. It's the perfect storm. So you have to restore the cellular functioning, the actual cell wall, so that the proteins inside the cell no longer leaking out into the bloodstream. Okay. Now, that is the biggest cause of inflammation right there. The body goes into, oh my gosh, this shouldn't be in the blood. We have to send in all of the troops to try to eliminate this out of the body. And so that's a good thing. We don't want to punish the immune system for doing that. What we want to do is remove the inhibition. We want to remove what's causing this cell damage and then supply the nutrient of that tissue type so the body can start repairing itself. So I like to make things simple. I'm not saying it is the most simple process or whatever word you want to use, but it's entirely possible. Okay. Now, if you decide, you know what, I don't really know what's going on. I've got so many things happening. I've got multiple layers of things happening. I just want to go on a natural anti-inflammatory because I know my body is loaded with inflammation. Go on turmeric. Take it, the highest quality turmeric that you can find. I do not recommend turmeric with black pepper though. So you may know that turmeric, it has to be combined with something so that it can be absorbed. And mostly this is black pepper. It's combined with black pepper to facilitate absorption. But what I've learned is actually fenugreek is a better enhancer for absorption. Black pepper is a little controversial because
Jules, 2 hearts.
Oopsie.
2 hearts.
Oopsie daisy. Black pepper creates excess heat in the body. It can, and it can also lead to gut permeability. So you want to be careful with that. So, okay, everybody, thank you for your interest in health. I am give you my website. Please reach out to me. I've got jenniferwaters.net. Yes, Vesna. All of this is going to be on my website really soon. I promise it will all be there. You can sign up for my newsletter, and I've got some information there. And I'm happy to share information with you via email. Reach out to me. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful day. And Vesna, I have to go now, but I will respond to your email. Put your email address in the chat here, okay? And I will weigh in on that. Okay. Okay.